The air is thick, clinging to your skin like a wet shroud. It smells of deep, damp earth, crushed ferns, and something else. A faint, sharp tang of sulfur. Above you, a dense canopy of ginkgo and colossal conifer trees shuts out the sky, plunging the forest floor into a perpetual twilight, pierced by stray beams of light. Strange, bird-like calls echo through the immense alien foliage, but you see nothing. The ground beneath your feet is a soft carpet of moss and fallen leaves, hiding a world of unseen life. Ever wonder what it truly felt like to stand in a forest where the air itself hummed with the genesis of flight? We love seeing how far these stories travel, so let us know in the comments where you're watching from and which prehistoric world you'd most want to explore. Now let's journey back in time and open the case file on a lost world. Your first challenge here, 160 million years in the past, isn't a roaring predator. It's the ground itself. This is not the familiar, stable Earth you know. This is a land of fire and water, a lush, vibrant rainforest thriving in the shadow of active volcanoes. The rich soil that nourishes these giant ferns and towering trees is a gift from the mountains that loom in the distance, their gray peaks breathing a constant, hazy plume into the sky. And as you look closer at the forest floor, you notice a fine, pale, gray powder dusting the leaves and settling in the hollows. It isn't dust, it's volcanic ash. This single substance is the most important clue in our entire investigation. It is the key to how we know so much about this lost world. And it's your first lesson in survival. This ash fell like a gentle, persistent snow, blanketing the landscape and the surfaces of its many lakes, creating a perfect tomb that preserved everything it touched with breathtaking detail. This is our case file. A geological Pompeii, where the victims are not just frozen in their final moments, but their very substance, feathers, tissues, stomach contents, is recorded in stone. To survive here, you must first understand that the life-giving environment is also the executioner. That same volcanic ash that coats the ground is our star witness for what grew here. Within its fine, layered pages, locked away in ancient lakebed sediments, paleontologists find clues far smaller than bones, yet infinitely more powerful for rebuilding this world. Fossilized pollen. Each microscopic grain is a perfect time capsule, a botanical fingerprint that tells us exactly what kind of trees, ferns, and cycads made up this alien ecosystem. The evidence is overwhelming. This is a world without a single flower. There are no colorful petals, no sweet fruits to eat. Your entire world is a sea of greens and browns, a humid labyrinth of towering conifers, bizarre, palm-like cycads, and an endless canopy of ginkgo trees, their fan-shaped leaves rustling in the damp air. It's this fossil pollen that allows us to walk through this forest with such certainty. But as you scan this primeval canopy, a flicker of movement catches your eye. A shadow detaches itself from the bark of a tree 50 feet up, swooping through the gloom on silent, leathery wings. Forget the giant, roaring pterosaurs of the movies. This is something else entirely. It's small, no bigger than a hawk, with a wide, frog-like head and a coat of dense, hair-like filaments covering its body. This isn't an arachnid, a nocturnal or twilight specialist, a silent, acrobatic hunter built to snatch insects from the air. Its eyes, proportionally huge, are perfectly adapted for the low light beneath the canopy. It lands on a nearby branch with an unnerving agility, its wings folding away as it clings to the bark, becoming just another shadow. This reveals your second rule of survival. Always watch the canopy. The greatest threats are not always the largest, and in this world of silent hunters, the danger that you don't hear is the one that's already found you. The sky belongs to them. Your gaze drops from the canopy to the forest floor. The humid air that sustains the giant ginkgos also nourishes a world of ferns, mosses, and cycads, creating a dense, tangled undergrowth. Pushing through the fronds, you hear the sound of lapping water, and soon the trees give way to the shore of a wide, placid lake. The water is dark and glassy, perfectly reflecting the colossal trees and the hazy, volcanic sky. It seems peaceful, a potential sanctuary, and a vital source for survival. But that tranquility is a lie. We know this because of the bodies that the ash entombed at the bottom of these very lakes. The fossil record here is a collection of perfectly still crime scenes, and the star victim is a creature you would never expect. Preserved in the fine-grained stone are the complete skeletons of giant salamanders, some nearly a meter long. The preservation is so exquisite that scientists can see not just bone, but the ghostly impressions of their skin and the delicate, feathery structures of their external gills. These fossils are our smoking gun. They allow us to reconstruct the predator you cannot see. Just beneath the placid surface, a monster is waiting. Camouflaged against the muddy bottom, it lies in near perfect stillness, its broad, flat head aimed at the shore. It is an ambush predator, the Jurassic equivalent of a crocodile, waiting patiently for any thirsty animal to lower its head for a drink. Its attack would be a sudden, explosive eruption of water and teeth, pulling its prey down into the suffocating darkness. This leads to your third, and perhaps most important, survival rule yet. Fear the water's edge. Thirst will drive you here, but every approach is a life or death gamble. You must treat every still pool and quiet stream as a hunting ground. The danger in this world isn't just in the shadows of the forest, but in the placid reflections on the water. You retreat from the treacherous shoreline, moving back into the relative safety of the dense ferns. The air is still again, broken only by the chirping of unseen insects. A sudden rustle in the undergrowth ahead sends a jolt through your system. It's not the heavy footfall of a giant, but something small and fast. A creature, no bigger than a crow, darts into a patch of light, and your mind struggles to process what you're seeing. It's a dinosaur, but it's covered from head to tail in a coat of rich, dark feathers. This is no guess. This is a paleontological certainty, and it is the defining secret of this entire lost world. The volcanic ash here performed a miracle, preserving not just the impression of feathers, but the microscopic pigment capsules, melanosomes, within them. By comparing the shape of these fossilized melanosomes to those in modern birds, scientists have performed an incredible feat of detective work. They have resurrected this animal's true, living colors. The evidence is undeniable. The creature before you, Anchiornis, has a body of slate gray and black feathers, with dramatic white stripes running down its feathered arms and legs, and a stunning crest of rufous red crowning its head. We know this with more certainty than we know the color of many historical human artifacts. It moves with a twitchy, bird-like grace, its sharp eyes scanning the leaf litter before it snaps up a small lizard in its toothed jaw. It is a swift, intelligent predator, a perfectly adapted hunter of the forest floor. This gives you survival rule number 4. Forget everything you think you know about dinosaurs. The dominant predators in this undergrowth are not lumbering giants, but small, hyper-aware, and feathered hunters. They are the true masters of this domain. To survive, you must be silent, still, and constantly aware that you are being watched by animals far more alert and agile than any reptile you can imagine. You watch the small, feathered dinosaur, disappear back into the ferns. Its hunt successful. Its sharp eyes and swift movements are perfectly tuned for the small prey of the undergrowth, but not just for the lizards. It was also hunting the most numerous and diverse life form in this entire forest, insects. The constant, gentle buzzing that has been the background noise to your journey now comes into focus. The air is thick with life. Giant dragonflies, with intricately veined wings spanning 2 feet, patrol the air above the lake. Water striders dimple the surface, and all around you, the air hums with the flight of countless beetles, flies, and other stranger things for which we have no modern names. We know this buzzing, clicking world in intimate detail because the fossil record here is not just about giants. The fine volcanic sediment created a flawless encyclopedia of Jurassic insects, preserving every tiny leg, antenna, and wing. This incredible fossil library allows us to read a chapter of the survival guide that is almost always overlooked, and it reveals a particularly nasty character. The evidence shows fossils of an ancient parasite, a primitive flea far larger and more menacing than its modern descendants. Fossils of creatures like Pseudopulex show an insect armed not with a simple needle, but with a long, serrated proboscis, a drilling tool designed to saw its way through tough dinosaur hide. As you stand in the humid air, you feel a sharp, piercing sting on your arm. You look down to see one of these horrors. This brings you to survival rule number 5. The most relentless predator is the one you can't fight. You can hide from a dinosaur. You can avoid the water's edge, but you cannot escape the swarm. The constant, debilitating threat here isn't a dramatic attack, but a slow, draining war of attrition against millions of blood-sucking parasites. A danger that carries the risk of infection and exhaustion with every single bite. As the last light of the Jurassic sun filters through the canopy, the world transforms. The relentless buzzing of the insect swarms softens, replaced by the chirps and clicks of a new nocturnal orchestra. The feathered dinosaurs have settled into the trees to roost, and a relative quiet descends upon the undergrowth. But the night is not safe. It simply offers a different set of dangers and a new rule book for survival. For decades, our understanding of this era painted a simple picture: a world of giant dinosaurs, and cowering in the shadows, tiny, shrew-like mammals just trying to stay out of the way. But the astonishingly complete fossils from this volcanic ash graveyard have torn that old story to shreds. The evidence reveals a mammalian world of shocking diversity and specialization. Here, in this dark fossilized soil, paleontologists found the remains of creatures like Castrocada. The stone preserved not just its sharp teeth and delicate bones, but the undeniable fossilized halo of its thick fur and the flat, scaly texture of a broad, beaver-like tail. This was no simple insectivore. It was a specialized swimmer, a Jurassic platypus hunting for fish in the very lakes you learned to fear. As you watch the moonlight shimmer on the water, you see one, a sleek, furry shadow slipping silently from the bank, a testament to warm-blooded tenacity. This is the secret to your survival, and it is written in your own DNA. Rule number 6 is this: to survive the night, you must act like a mammal. The dinosaurs may rule the day with brute force and speed, but the night belongs to the clever, the quiet, and the hidden. Your strategy must shift from evasion to stealth. Use the darkness as your ally. Move silently, and trust your senses over your strength. Your ancient ancestors are the true survivors of this world, and their blueprint is the only one that will get you through to dawn. You have survived the night. following the mammalian blueprint of stealth and silence. As the first hints of dawn begin to pierce the oppressive darkness, the air grows still and heavy. The usual morning chorus of the forest is eerily absent. A deep, low tremor runs through the ground, not the fleeting shake of a distant footstep, but a profound, sustained vibration that seems to come from the very core of the world. The faint plume of smoke from the distant volcanic peaks, a constant feature of the skyline, begins to swell and darken, boiling into the atmosphere with terrifying speed. The final survival rule is about to be revealed. The force that has been the patient author of this fossil record is now writing its final catastrophic chapter. The sky turns from gray to black as a colossal cloud of ash blots out the sun. It is not a rain of fire and lava, but something more insidious, a silent, suffocating snowfall of toxic powder. It falls relentlessly, burying the giant ferns, choking the air, and turning the surface of the lakes into a thick, gray slurry. This is the event that created our perfect case file. The Anurognathids, masters of the twilight sky, are smothered and fall like stones. The giant salamanders are entombed in their muddy lairs. The swift, feathered Anchiornis are overcome in the undergrowth, their vibrant colors vanishing beneath a blanket of gray. Even the mammals hidden in their burrows cannot escape the poisoned air. The detective story's final, shocking twist is that the murderer and the historian are one and the same. The eruption that ended this world is the only reason we can see it with such breathtaking clarity. There is no surviving this. The ultimate rule is that against the raw geological power of the planet, all other rules become meaningless. Our journey through this lost world ends here, buried beneath a shroud of volcanic ash that would, over millions of years, turn to stone. Every fossil we have examined today is a message in a bottle, a fragment of a world that was as real and vibrant as our own. It is a profound testament to the power of science that we can look at a silent piece of rock and resurrect not just a creature, but the scent of the air it breathed and the challenges it faced to see another dawn. By piecing together these clues, we do more than just reconstruct the past. We are reminded of the incredible fragility of life and the immense, deep river of time that connects us to these ancient ancestors. The greatest wonder is not just that these worlds existed, but that we have learned how to read their stories.